In the past, back on Skull Island, Bill Randa records a message, saying that it is something extremely important. Suddenly, a spider-like monster attacks him, and Bill throws a bag into the sea. Another monster appears, giving Bill an opportunity to escape and save his life. In 2013, a member of a fishing crew finds a strange bag in the Sea of Japan. In the present, Kate Randa flies to Japan following the mysterious death of her father Hiroshi. The world is in terror due to Godzilla's attacks, and Kate struggles with painful flashbacks of her experience in San Francisco. She arrives at her father's apartment and discovers that he had another family. His son, Kentaro, is equally surprised to learn he has a sister. Kentaro takes Kate to their father's office, where she opens his safe and finds Bill's bag with tapes. Kentaro brings the bag to his ex-girlfriend, May, a talented hacker who can access the files within. Once the files are accessed, someone from a corporation called Monarch immediately reports it to his superior. While guys observe the files, Kate reveals to Kentaro that their father disappeared shortly after the G-Day. In 1959, Lee Shaw, Dr. Keiko Miura, and her husband Bill Randa embark on a dangerous mission in Kazakhstan. They enter an uninhabited area, use some explosives, and discover that there is something beneath the surface, confirming their theories. Underground, they come across hundreds of eggs and attempt to collect samples. However, as the building begins to collapse, Keiko falls into a deep tunnel, drugged by the creatures that have hatched from the eggs. Kentaro discovers another file about Lee and Keiko's first mission in the Philippines in 1952, where they met Bill Randa. Together, they embarked on a quest to search for creatures known as massive unidentified terrestrial organisms. They discovered an old ship and were ambushed by a colossal monster, but Lee managed to save them. Meanwhile, Kate is preparing to return to the USA, but Tim, the man from Monarch, follows her. Alongside another woman, Duval, they forcefully drag her into their car. Kate resists, causing a car accident, and manages to escape and seeks refuge at May's place. However, Tim is already on their tail, targeting Kentaro and May as well. Understanding the danger of the situation, the group decides to pay a visit to Lee. Lee is currently being held captive at a spa resort where Monarch keeps individuals who possess too much knowledge. He proposes to the guys that they escape together. After a dramatic and chaotic chase, Lee, Kate, May, and Kentaro manage to break free. Lee provides them with more information about Monarch. The organization was founded with hopes and dreams to study the Titans, but somewhere along the way, it lost its path. To uncover the truth about the ongoing events, Lee takes the group to South Korea to meet his old friend Do-ho. Do-ho agrees to assist them in traveling to Alaska to gather more information about Hiroshi. Monarch's superior sends Tim and Duval to locate Lee and the others, with instructions to stop them at any cost. In the past, after Lee, Keiko, and Bill witness the monster's presence and establish Monarch, they seek government support, as the creature could become a global threat. They set a uranium trap to attract the monster, but the military decides to kill it instead of studying it. Keiko is furious, but at least they obtain funding that will cover their future research needs. In Alaska, the team discovers wreckage remnants of Hiroshi's plane and signs of life nearby. This suggests that Hiroshi might be alive after all. However, their happiness is very short-lived as an enormous creature emerges, freezing both the plane and Do-ho to death. Somewhere in Utah, Dr. Barnes discovers signals from Alaska on her monitors and contacts Monarch to warn them. The guys hide in a small cave, and May falls into the cold water, injuring her legs. Kentaro leaves to seek help alone. Kate does everything to make May feel better. They get back to Hiroshi's tent and make a fire, but the monster appears again and starts sucking the heat. Lee comes up with an idea on how to distract the Titan. Kentaro gets lost in a blizzard. He hallucinates about May and his father, who encourages him to keep going. Kentaro finds a building with a radio and contacts someone. Lee's plan goes wrong, and the monster ambushes the team. Then, a helicopter with Kentaro inside shows up and rescues them. When they land, they see Tim greeting them. Now, Lee and the others are trapped in Monarch's command post in Alaska. Duval interrogates May and tells her that she knows her secret. She gives May her card and hints that they can trust each other. Tim wants to recruit the team, but Deputy Director Verdugo doesn't agree with him. Duval offers to let them go and see what they'll do, and Verdugo agrees. She also tries to convince Lee to cooperate, but he doesn't want to listen. Tim gives May, Kentaro, and Kate some money, new passports, and plane tickets. May wants to return to Tokyo, but the other two decide to go after their father, and May has to join them. Their next destination is Hiroshi's office in San Francisco. There, Kate breaks the news about Hiroshi's second family to her mother, Caroline. Her mom agrees to help them infiltrate a secured area in the city to investigate Hiroshi's office. During the journey, Kate suffers from her painful memories of the G-Day. They barely get caught by the military but eventually make it to Hiroshi's office. There, they find a strange map, and after Kentaro deciphers it, they discover that Hiroshi is probably in Africa now. The guys discuss their further plans, but May decides that she has had enough of running and calls Duval. Duval is already tired of Monarch's dictatorship and wants to get revenge for her sister, who died in a nuclear accident. She helps Lee escape and takes him to Caroline's place. Shaw says Hiroshi is trying to stop an upcoming disaster, so they must find him. Shaw, Duval, and the others head to Africa and find Hiroshi, standing far away from them near his truck and a gamma radiation simulator. All of a sudden, Monarch's people appear in a helicopter. Just then, Godzilla emerges from underground and almost kills the group. Back in 1955, Bill discovers signs of a Titan in Japan. Lee admits his feelings for Keiko, but they are interrupted by Godzilla rising from the water, making them realize the bomb didn't kill him. After the incident, Bill, Keiko, and Lee find out that Monarch is now under the military's command. Now, Duval and Shaw take control of Monarch Outpost 88, and Dr. Barnes contacts Verdugo. May gets kidnapped, and when Kate and Kentaro visit her sister, she tells them about May's past. In fact, her real name is Cora. A few years ago, she was hired by a tech company called AET, but her boss, Brenda, used Cora's codes for her cruel experiments. In response, Cora hacked the company's system and escaped to Japan. And now Brenda has kidnapped Cora, intending to make her continue working for them, but the girl refuses. Kentaro and Kate strike a deal with Verdugo that if she helps them rescue May, they'll help Monarch find Lee. Verdugo fulfills her part of the deal, and Cora is free to go. Brenda realizes that she can use Monarch for her own wealth and lets Cora go. She reunites with her friends and asks them to call her May. Shaw and his team head to Alaska and kill the Ice Titan. Then, they fly to Kazakhstan to achieve their last goal. Kate, Kentaro, and May cooperate with Monarch to find Lee and stop him. In Bill's notes, Kate reads about Keiko's tragic disappearance in Kazakhstan, so Verdugo sends the team there. In 1955, Keiko and Bill struggle to find common ground with their new superior. They decide to make a map with all the info they have on Titans and reveal that the creatures have their own world inside Earth, just like ants. Gradually, they grow closer and start having feelings for each other, and Bill even meets Keiko's son named Hiroshi. Lee finds out about Keiko and Bill, becomes jealous, and tells the military that Godzilla is alive. When the crew arrives, Lee and his team are already inside the building. The place is full of the monster's shells, and there is a hole serving as a monster's portal. Shaw plans to explode the portal for good but agrees to talk to Kate first. He explains that the Titans just want to protect their kind from the humans, and this is why Lee wants to destroy the portal between their worlds. Kate begs Shaw to stop, but he activates the bombs, and May falls into the hole in the ground. One of the monsters attacks Kate, and Shaw tries to protect her. In 1962, Bill tries to be a good father after Keiko's death, and Lee is on good terms with little Hiroshi as well. He is going on a new mission, a secret operation called Hourglass. With his team, he delves into a huge tunnel leading to the Titan's world. The operation goes wrong and turns into a real disaster. The military cuts Monarch's funding, but Bill still hopes to save his friend. 20 years later, Shaw awakens in the hospital, looking exactly like he did when he disappeared. Bill is already dead, and Hiroshi is an adult man. Hiroshi interrogates Lee about his terrible journey in the Titan's world and follows Monarch's order, sending Shaw to the special spa resort for permanent residents. In the present, Kentaro wakes up in Tokyo, where Verdugo and Tim tell him about the horrible consequences of Lee's decision. Most of their team is dead, and Kentaro is devastated to hear that. Depressed, he returns home and confronts Hiroshi. Meanwhile, Shaw and May find themselves in a mysterious and dangerous place. Lee explains that they are in the Titan's world, but Kate is nowhere to be seen. She wakes up alone and instantly gets attacked by a monster, but her young grandmother Keiko saves her. Kate and Keiko find May and Sho. Lee and Keiko have a heartbreaking moment of reunion. She is shocked to see him as an old man, and Shaw explains to her the time difference between the Titans and human worlds. Keiko spent 57 days in the Titan's world, which is equal to 57 years in the world of humans. Lee quickly comes up with a plan on how to get out of the Titan's world. They need to find the capsule that was used by Shaw and his crew in 1962 and use it for transportation through the tunnel. Kentaro blames his father for Kate and May's disappearance. His mother also tells Hiroshi that there is no chance that they can get back together. Tim meets Kentaro at the bar and tells him about the signals from the Titan's world. There is hope that his friends are alive after all. Together, they come to Hiroshi and ask him for help. Keiko asks Lee about Bill, and he tells her about Bill's mission on Skull Island. He never came back from that journey, and nobody knows what happened to him. Lee informs her of the changes the world has gone through in the last 57 years, and Keiko cries over all the time she has lost. When they finally reach Shaw's old capsule, Keiko makes a sudden decision to stay in the Titan's world. She believes that coming back will ruin her son Hiroshi's life once again, but Kate convinces Keiko to change her mind. When they are ready for transportation, something goes wrong, and Lee gets out of the capsule to fix the problem. Unexpectedly, Godzilla and a huge flying titan appear near the tunnel and start fighting. The capsule starts its way through the lift, and Lee has no time to get inside, so the team leaves without him. They travel back to the human world and meet Kentaro and Hiroshi. Keiko cries and hugs her son, but Brenda and Tim interrupt them. It turns out that Kate and May were absent for 2 years, and a lot of things are different now. For example, an enormous gorilla named King Kong is here and ready to attack them.